already deployed or something that might interest you in and we have deployed in the last couple of weeks or in this quarter, and also some of the quick snippets or important releases that we plan to bring in next couple of weeks. So let me just proceed with first email builder. One of the most important releases that we did this quarter was to enable UTM parameters. Now, if you go under the email marketing campaigns, under the settings page now under trackings, you would have the option to enable UTM parameter tracking for all your email links. What it does is all the links inside your emails now would be appended with these UTM parameters so that you can then go ahead and track or create reports and analyze your marketing efforts on any third party analytics tool like Google Analytics as of now. But at the back end, we are also working to ensure that inside your dashboard and reporting, we also provide some kind of reporting there. But with this release, you can already see the reports or build up or pull reports in Google Analytics. The other benefit of having this feature would be the capability of seeing the user log, which a user had opened which campaign at the end before you initiate any one-on-one conversation with them. So as of now, if you go inside a contact and look at the activity log, you can see which calendar link they opened or which funnel did they land on, but it is not available right now to see which campaign had they opened last. After we bring in, we are working at the back end to ensure that you can look at the campaign level history details for a specific contact as well, to have a more detailed and a personalized conversation with that particular contact, or talk about something that might just interest them. How do you use it? Just ensure that both the places UTM tracking is enabled, or at least in the send or schedule screen, UTM parameters are enabled. How do you configure them? You configure them under the campaign settings section. By default, we have provided the source medium campaign. You can also select the UTM underscore campaign as campaign name and send date, or you can add your other custom UTM parameters by clicking on just add custom UTM parameters. So this is the first thing. I'm just going to move on to the next one. The other thing that we released in last to last week was the capability of direct checkout links for your product elements. So inside your email campaigns, when you're adding a product element, you can choose which product you want to add, and then till date you had this option of link redirection, wherein you can choose if someone clicks on buy now, where exactly do we redirect them to. But now we have enabled direct checkout. So anyone who clicks on buy now on a specific product ID, there would be a checkout page custom to that product already available, or a payment link available for that product when you click on direct checkout. If you wish to configure, hey, I want to add in these fields, you can click on this edit button that would be available next to the product item, and then go ahead and configure the checkout page. The additional benefit of this is if someone actually clicks on buy now and ends up purchasing something, it would roll back to your conversion. So you can actually see how much your campaign made, and you would have all of those metrics attributed back to that particular campaign where the buy now was clicked and the order was made. So we have ensured that this flow end to end is working with direct checkout links. Further, if you want to look at the payment links, you can go to the payments tab and look at those payment links. It is under the name of the campaign, and you will also find the product reference ID there. So you can choose to configure it from there as well. Going forward, the other beneficial thing that we did, I guess this month itself, was the capability to enable sharing email templates for agency admins and agency user for more than one location at a time. So this capability also helps you to ensure that you can share this cross agency as well. So an agency admin or a user now can click on an email template, choose which configure the link and then send it across, and a respective agency admin or user would be able to download it to a respective location or more than one location, up to three at once. Talking about the location admins and location user, they still see that share template capability that they are used to seeing, wherein they can share within the location that they have access to. But for agency admins, we have brought this capability of a cross agency share. So this is also one of the important things that we brought in. I'll just take a pause and look at the questions. I see
No
nothing.
questions yet. I think all great stuff.
I have a quick question. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, dear.
With this sharing the email templates, when you say capability for agency admins, can we indicate which agency admin can use this feature?
As of now, we have enabled it for all agency admin and user. This role-based access control, I guess this is something that we are working in a holistic way with the platform team on this. I think I think you will see more updates on that. But to talk about the current release, it provides you only with the access of enabling it for everyone, and it is enabled by default.
But this is just for agency admin. So our understanding is that, that the agency admins are like highest roles that you're given, like, someone who are like all trustworthy and like, need like all the access required.
Not necessarily, but I get your point. But the agency admins is not necessarily because there are restrictions on agency users that we need have a specific access that cannot be I mean there are agency admin roles or permissions that is only available to them but not on the agency users. So because of that we need to add them as an agency admin.
Understood.
Yep.
Got it. So I guess like Shreya, we can add in like view and access rights to like, agency user roles, and they can like choose that particular option out.
Yeah, I think this is something that is already in work at a platform level, but I'm going to check. This seems like a valid request. We'll circle back on this.
Cool.
Thank you.
In the next slide. The other thing which is coming now, I'm going to talk about the things which are going to release soon or the team is working on, and probably next couple of weeks you are going to see something around this. The first thing that is coming up is the capability to segment or the system generated segments or the pre-built segments while you are sending out your campaigns. This is essentially done because you would want to probably engage with only those users who are interacting with your emails and might not or might specifically want to target in some cases those users who are not engaging with your emails at all. So there are some basic system generated or pre-built segments that we would be allowing or creating for you at the backend. For example, contacts who engaged with any of your emails in last 7 days. And we are talking about emails like workflows, emails going through workflows, email sent through campaigns as well, or bulk action. If a user has engaged with any of your emails in the last 7 days or 30 days or 60 days, you have specific segments created for them. If any of your contact have engaged in any of your last 5 emails, you have a specific segment for them, and someone who has not engaged also has a segment. So we are rolling out with these 5 most asked or most relevant segments that we will generate at the backend, and which will already always be there, and these are dynamic segments. Looking at
Will there also be a segment within the smart list? It's Liar's question.
So as of now, this is not a and operation. This will be either you choose contact or smart list or tags or a pre-built segment. But having said that, we are working on to ensure that you can create more dynamic recipient list wherein you can choose, make combination of all of this and also remove people from the list create, like probably include A, B, and C, some of the tags, one smart list and probably a segment, and exclude some of the contacts, tags, and smart list. So that is the end vision towards this. Yeah.
Dan?
Yes.
Yes, is this just the version 1 of the pre-built segments?
Sorry, I think I lost you at the initial. Do you mind
This is just our
repeating?
initial release on this, right? Like you had indicated, we've got more stuff coming here.
Oh yes, in the initial, is the question around the initial phase, what will be included?
Yeah, for the pre-built segments, because what I'm thinking is that um, specific on a specific email, like clickers of this email, openers of this
Ah.
email.
Yes, I guess in campaign based, like the interaction on campaign, on the basis of that, if you wish to build a segment, that is something that is in our roadmap, but in this release, that is something that is not considered.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Charles, you have a question about creating campaigns?
Yeah, my question is around clarity on when you're scheduling. Is there any plan to provide better clarity on what time zone you're actually scheduling for?
Got it. So you're
That
mentioning that right now the schedule and batch schedule does not indicate uh,
time
clearly
zone.
zone.
Yeah. Yeah, we just run into the situation where sometimes, our team doesn't know if, they have to go look at the business. They have a client ask them, hey, can you schedule this for whatever time, Eastern time? Of course, they're in other countries and they may not know what time zone the account is set to, so they have to back out, go to the business settings, see what the account is set to. There just needs to be more clarity around it. We've
I
added it in
got
several other places, but this would be a good place to add that time zone indicator.
Yeah.
got it. I guess I am taking a note of this. How to ensure to bring more clarity on what time zone is the schedule or RSS is going to run on. We are
Yeah.
planning to include a helper text, which would be a dynamic text which will tell you where exactly, when exactly a batch is getting scheduled, how many batches are getting scheduled, and what is the amount of the emails or contacts included in a single batch. Similarly, for schedule also we wish to, or we have in our plans to include something which is like a dynamic help text, which exactly tells you with all the configurations made what exactly would be the behavior of this campaign. So that is something that we have included in our roadmap so that you can then go ahead and probably change all the different settings there in the individual sections.
We already have, Shreya, for RSS, I guess we already have, where we are providing the time plus time zone. I think we need
Correct.
to
We have
do.
time zone. I'm talking about the helper text. I guess even if we have it, it's not clear, is what
No,
Charles
no,
is
no.
indicating.
I'm also talking about helper text. Basically, besides that schedule button, we are giving that option. So whatever configuration we are filling out, based on that, we are showing like at this time, in this time zone, this will go out for
Beautiful.
RSS. For RSS
Oh,
only.
For
yes, yes.
RSS. So you just need to bring it into that UI.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Cool. Awesome. So it sounds like we're working on it. It's
Yeah.
on the radar.
Yeah.
Dave, you have a question?
Yes. Can we ask for all of the product owners that, the time zone should be incorporated universally, like in, platform wide, whenever, wherever you are in the platform, as long as there is a date time indicator, the time zone should be included.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm just going to take a note of this. Probably this is something that is more that should be included at the settings level as well.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll
Yeah.
also look at the schedule and the batch schedule section, how to make it more clear. I'm aware, like Harsh mentioned, that it's there in RSS. We'll see if it can be made more clear and more prominent so that it's easier for someone to understand the timing that the campaign is getting scheduled at.
Cool.
Fine.
Sounds like a great task for the new product design VP.
Somebody's on LinkedIn. Amazing. I can guarantee you there's a lot of those types of initiatives that are getting spun up here. Cool. What do we got next?
Yeah, the next thing that probably would go live this week or the next week is the brand board, wherein you would now have the capability to add in your logos, your colors, your brand fonts, and inside the funnel builder or your email builder, whenever you open your or you try and edit any of your text or your background, wherever the color picker basically opens up, it would going forward open up like this, wherein the first thing that you see at the top would be your brand colors, and then you will see your default colors, which you can add, edit, update, and also delete. You see this color wherein it says pink perfect. This is basically wherein under the color section, I added
So
a color
we
in
have
my.
a working demo. We can just showcase to them.
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Live demos are always fun. No pressure.
Yeah, it
I have played
works.
around with it. It's pretty cool. You guys did a great job on it.
Just give me 1 second. I just closed it so that I have minimum number of those.
We need more RAM.
Harsh, do you have it handy? Otherwise, like you can also
have
take.
it. 1 second. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever you start with the brand board, you have the option of starting with some textures in case you do not have a brand guideline of your own. Or else you can also decide to start from scratch. For example, if I start from scratch here and click on continue, I have the option of updating my logos. Like let's just say I updated this to this one and I kept the other one this. I can go into the color section. I can choose any color. You'll see the color section of the brand board gets updated. I can add colors. I can call it my background color and probably secondary. At minimum, there always needs to be two colors. The idea is that black and white or minimum two colors are always required to create any kind of design. Similarly, for typography, you can go ahead and add any up to 5 different fonts and you will see all your fonts here. Now let's just say I call it my board and I set this brand board as default. At a particular location, you can create multiple brand boards, but the default one is the one which you would be able to access from inside your builders. For example, let me just open this. So you see the colors have the exact label that I had added in the initial screen, which means that I do not need to remember the hex codes anymore. But if I do, and if I wish to have that for my this particular design, I can go ahead and add it at the default section. We have also introduced the color picker. So in case you have forgotten or you want to match your color background with some of the color components present in any of the image you already have added, you can simply use this. You would see you can also go ahead and edit, delete, or update any of your default colors here. So that is for your colors. Similarly, for your brand fonts, you would be able to see the first recommendation basically in the font picker would be the fonts that you have saved. So no more finding, scrolling, or incorrect choice of fonts. You can simply set your guidelines at one place, and whoever is designing any of the emails or your funnel pages would going forward be able to easily use those brand fonts or colors. Now, talking about logos, whenever I edit this, the first recommendation that I see are the logos which I had already added in media library. Sorry, in the brand board section. It automatically creates basically a folder inside the media library which says brand boards. And inside this, I would have all those brand boards that I've created and the fonts that the logos that I have saved for all of those brand boards. So whatever logo you wish to use, you can simply go into that particular folder and use that particular logo. So you can save your stamp or your transparent background logos, so on and so forth, for all your different use cases.
Charles,
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Back on the live preview, could you just select that
Mm.
text box so is the panel not on the right anymore? Is the text panel not on the right anymore? Is it?
This one?
It's at the top.
No, it's at the top now.
Yeah, it has been on
So
top since a while.
here's my question. So a lot of us
Mhm.
have a lot of websites out there that use CSS that utilize the green and the blue, the first two primary colors in the color picker. What's going to happen if that gets removed as a default color in the
Uh,
color picker?
So basically, you are saying that, for example, if we had green and yellow like selected out of box, like during the initial color pickers, like before the brand board was existing, right? What happens?
Yes. So this is well, I can't put a right now if you open up color options on a text block, the first two colors are green and blue, which are often referenced in CSS with a lot of websites and funnels. Is this going to break that? And if so, we definitely need a heads up.
That's not going
It
to
will.
break that, right?
Okay.
It
Because
will not.
basically, like, default remains default. Default is something that, you were using till
Okay.
now. And brand board is something like, you don't want, like, our future game is something like this. You want to create like a funnel, email, proposal. You want to add anything to communities, membership, write a blog, all these places. Like, the idea is that, you don't need to always select the colors or the fonts or add a logo. All these things are pre-added, right? You're just writing and it will use your default typography over there, basically.
but I
That's
guess his
Okay.
question is it's not going to overwrite CSS that's already being referenced. So in
no.
other
Because
words,
well, in previous town halls, so like when this whole discussion got started 2 months ago, it was hammered pretty firm that we needed to maintain that green and blue as the first two colors in the default panel. And I was told several times that it would stay because of all the websites and funnels out there that
Yeah, but
operate
you
off
can go
those two
ahead,
colors.
like if you don't want to go by the brand color route, right? You
Yeah.
can go by the default route. You can choose that out. Like, we'll give you that option. But the idea is that brand board is to make your life easy, right? So you can choose
Yeah,
like
no, I understand.
green as a brand board color, and people will have like multiple brand boards. So if I have like 6 brand boards, I can just show them over there. You can put that green and yellow as the default one and then go ahead with it, right? So you can choose that as one of your board and just showcase it to your customers. So that way also it will solve your problem. But the idea is that, we don't want like users to go through, like if they had 6 things to create, we don't want them to always go and choose like, okay, I want Arial 25 for my H1 or blue for like, writing my headers. That's the main idea that we're bringing in with the brand board colors that way.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
to add to that, these are hex-based fixed colors. We are not auto-applying anything here. These colors, default colors, are not custom value or any value-based color which automatically gets updated or changes your past funnels or would
Funnel.
have an direct impact on any of your pages. This
Yeah.
is just meant for quick access. In this default drop-down, in funnels you will find a label which says custom colors. We are not touching that. That will remain blue, green, or
Yeah.
however you want to set that up. And that is
And I
something that
get all that. I get all that. My
And this
problem
is
so my problem is that 2 months ago when we first started talking about this, or 3 months ago, um, there was a lot of discussion. It was more in websites and funnels in those town halls, but we talked about the importance of the green and the green and blue has just always been there.
okay.
And so in
It's as
all the
if you're not
CSS
going
and
to
all the
touch
custom
that out.
values,
Yeah.
that's what we always reference when if we needed to use a custom value to replace a text color, that's what we could always rely on being there in CSS.
Yeah.
Because we knew when we loaded a snapshot, that's the whole purpose of it is for snapshots.
Yes.
Where the brand board, is that going to come into, are you going to be able to identify if it's fully custom and you can title it whatever the heck you want to, like this is my
Yes.
background color because I like it. Haha, you can put how do you reference that in CSS?
I think I hear you. The funnels team is already checking all of those cases wherein they are checking the custom value based colors as well. So if you have blue and green in your CSS sheet and then you take a snapshot of it and then probably go ahead and update it for a different location, that should work. And that is the exact scenario that the funnels team is testing and why we have kept this brand board as a hold up till now. I know, like you already mentioned, we have been discussing this for past 2 or 3 months, but we are testing all possible cases and scenarios to ensure that nothing that was working that is working today will break tomorrow.
Okay, so we
And the
will be able to
idea is
use
like,
custom
all
values.
Just
We
to
will
Yes.
be
add
able to use
to
custom
the
values in the brand board.
the brand board is more of a reference which will be applied once you select it. But the existing already applied colors or whatever it is the standard
and that does not change at all.
and that won't change. So when you have those colors already set in the websites and stuff, it will not change unless there is an action on it to change it.
Okay.
So,
And
so
then
you,
we
did
be
you-
able to use custom values in the brand board?
As of now, I guess, like, Shreya, we have not extended to that level. Like, this is the skateboard model that we tried, right? So
Yeah.
this is the first impact. Second impact is going to be like around the custom values and everything. The future flow is something like this. We'll take the permission. We want to, like, just make life easy. Like, you have 6 products, you just want to create a brand board. Go ahead, start writing like your blogs and everything. You don't need to set like, your colors for that. You want to write an email, you don't want to set every time like colors, fonts, and everything. Even if you put in CSS, custom code, or like anywhere else, like it should be just be able to replicate that behavior out. And it's also going to be like, in future icons and other places, like, other types of thing, which can be commonly used between like all the products. So that's the main, like, just behind like having the brand board to solve that out overall. So today, like,
Yes. So
the
I
next-
heard you say
yeah.
it's not happening right now, but like is custom values like very next? Because I think that's
Yes.
what everybody is.
Yes, that
Saying
will be next. This is just the start of it, like having to create like brand identity colors. Then like the next step will be like custom values, as like, to generate like, your fonts or your colors. Then comes like, the next phase around like, okay, you want to apply it to all 6, like you don't want to always choose like which brand board to go for, or like you want to choose like, default colors to go forward, like all those things, like, that multiple combination thing like should be possible. Like that will be the third or fourth iteration that we might opt to do. But this is where we start with the brand board or color identity, basically.
It makes it really hard to adopt when you've already adopted an interim solution and there's no bridge for it. I think that's kind of the spirit of what I'm hearing too. This is
Yeah.
great, but I've got all my stuff tied to custom values now.
No worries. I guess probably once we sync that in, you will be able to do a smooth transition to it. We don't expect it the things that we release it works out of box every time. But this is just the skateboard model that we want to opt. This is first identity to bring in so that we can get all the use cases that are available. We are using custom values as of now, right? Some of the people would be using CSS, custom code writing, or some people might be opting to do it something they are not well used to all the type of different technology, then they might be opting to do something else. So all those cases once we launch this out it will definitely reach to us in some sort of feedback and usage. So we'll try to collect them and then come up with what's the next plan to make it better over there overall in the experience flow. So our next goal will be the custom values and option around it for sure. And probably Shreya will also do something like this. We can give few people access on beta so that at least we can get earlier feedback before we launch it out. So we can just do that overall. Shreya, so just reach out to few people for sure to get them aware this is what we are planning to do. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
The
I think
concept is cool.
reading the question, if I set brand, I
Oh,
think
just wait, Shreya. There was someone who was trying to share something. Cool. I'm not so sure who spoke, but yeah, cool. We'll go ahead. Thank you.
so Evo had written, if I set a brand font 1 to Arial and then use it on a site and after that change it in the board, would it change the site? No, it would not. But go in the next iteration, when you try to update the site and you click on the font picker, you would be able to see the suggestions made by the brand fonts have changed. So you can quick access it, but we will not auto apply anything in this iteration because that has more reasons to break. And in this iteration, we just want to solve the case of quick access and not having to remember or pick the same thing again and again from a different place. Can we have our brand font as a default font? Yes, that is the plan, that we will let you set defaults. Hey, for my buttons, this is the color, this is the font, and everything is this. So going forward, whenever you add a button, it would look exactly like you wish it to look, not the default one that we provide.
Perfect. All right.
If we
I think we can move on from that, but good discussion all around there.
I think
Yeah, we are losing you.
on to the next slides here. Just
Shreya?
can you not hear me?
No,
We
we are
can hear you
losing
now.
off track in middle.
Can you not hear me? Hello?
Right now you're clear, but we lost you for a few seconds in middle.
Okay. Is it better now? I changed my net.
Yes, much better.
Oh, okay. I was just reading the questions. Did you hear the last response to the default fonts for button?
No, we did not.
Okay. I think there is a lag. Just give me 1 second.
When is the brand board coming out? Did you say this week?
Yeah, it's going to come out this week.
Awesome.
Do you want me to share my screen share? Like that might just help you out a bit more.
Yeah, can you do that? I think I'm facing some issues with my net today.
No worries, I'll do that. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, I have shared the link in the.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, right now in the font picker, you would have your font that you have put in the brand board as a quick access. And the other thing which is quite cool that we have added in the color picker is the eyedropper. So you would now be able to add any of your images, and if there is a color combination that or a color component that you're trying to figure out, you can simply put it there. So it's a basic thing, but it's new to us. So we have added it in the color picker now. Pooja, can you go to the next screen? Yeah, the other thing which is also lined up to release by next week is countdown timer. So we have a separate product called countdown timer now, wherein you can create timers, which is fixed or recurring. Dynamic timer would soon follow, but in the first iteration, we are going to bring fixed timers and recurring timers, wherein you can choose a template, tell us what are the details and everything, what are the timer settings in terms of what is your time zone, what is the time, when does this timer end at, and configure everything to the T in the styling parameter. How does the circle look like, what is the remaining color look like, how does the separator look like, what are the fonts of the labels, and do you want to show any specific label, yes or no. You can configure all of those things. And once you have created a timer, then inside the funnels or in the email builder, you can go ahead and just add a countdown timer element and choose from your timers which timer you wish to add. The only down in this iteration is that in the funnels, you would be able to replicate the same timer, so that once if someone is clicking on the email to go onto your funnels page, they will exactly see the same timer. But from this countdown timer element, you would not be able to copy design. To ensure that the design is also copied, you would have to go ahead with the option of copy custom code, that is in the third here. So the copy custom code is available for every timer that you are creating. You can simply use that code and put it in any email builder or funnel, and it will work. The
It
fact
will
is that
work
it
in
is,
sync, right? Basically.
yes, work in sync. We are working to ensure that uh, this particular GIF image that is in this custom code gets refreshed after every 60 seconds, so that even if in a particular session someone stays in your website for longer than 60 seconds, it works. But we have already tested it that copy custom code typically works in every other custom code block that we have in any of our builders as of now. And you can use it in any email builder, and inside funnel builder as of now it's working for 60 seconds, but if you wish it to go longer for than 60 seconds, you can use the HTML based timer, which would be available at the countdown timer template section at the funnels panel. So the end game is that all the timer designs that you saw and you have built in countdown timer, you can see it everywhere. You can use it everywhere. And inside countdown timer, you would be able to see, hey, these many emails were sent. These many people actually viewed this timer and clicked on this timer. So, and these many people actually ended up buying something because they clicked on this particular link. That is the entire vision with respect to countdown timer. But this is the step one that we are taking towards that bigger goal. Then the other thing which is also going live very soon, and we have started to work on this. This is, I would not say very soon, but in this quarter, is inline forms and surveys. If you see, we have added the capability to add elements like 1 to 10 survey or like dislike element or a 5-star rating or any other form that you have already built inside GHL. You can drag and drop form element inside your builder and then choose which type of form you want. And inside your statistics, you would be able to see all the details. So you can see if you add the 5-star rating element, let's just say, anyone who clicks on the 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 1-star, any of the stars, you would be able to see all the details here inside the submission section. For example, out of 10K, 2 people have opted for 2 stars, or 10 people have opted for 5 stars. You can see the percentages and you can click on the individual section or click on export to figure out who exactly have clicked on a specific star, and then how do you want to engage with them. So you can go ahead and make all of those logical decisions post that. And you can export the details or the all the minute details with respect to the submissions by clicking on the export. Moving on to the next one. The other thing that we have brought in is conditional element, wherein you can choose the element and then you can choose, hey, for this particular element, if any of my contact has or has not a custom field value is A or B, I want to show this particular element or I don't want to show this particular element. So for example, if I want the FAQ element to only be visible to those contacts whose custom field location is US, I can do custom field as location, set your condition is, and enter a value which is US. So this particular element would only be visible to those contacts whose location custom field is valued as US. So how does it help? This just helps you by saving time, by not creating multiple smart lists based on tags, by simply being more creative and using only one campaign metric to cater to more variety of your contact list, and then see a consolidated statistics for all of those operations. So this is what we envision with conditional element. Moving on to the next one. This is the main vision of that the team is working this quarter, which is to ensure every email, which is right now using the email builder templates, mainly the email campaigns, workflows, or bulk action, all of these become or come under the campaigns or the email marketing section, wherein you can see individual statistics. Hey, these many emails were sent for this particular email action when I talk about a workflow, and eventually also have UTM parameters or click performance enabled for them, and see a holistic picture of all your email marketing effort under one statistics section, which would be visible here. So that is the end vision, wherein every capability that we are bringing for email campaigns right now, be it click performance, UTM parameters, or the capability to see conversion or ROI conversion metric, it will now include all the campaigns that are sent even through workflows and bulk action. The other benefit of having this is, for every other email action, you do not need to create a specific template. You can also choose, if you wish to sync it with the template, you can go ahead and do it as you are doing right now. But if you wish to just create a copy of that template and run a specific campaign, which does not adds up to your template space, you can also do that. So that is the end goal, wherein we are trying to simplify and make the entire email marketing more easier to understand. I'll just take a pause and look at all the questions. When does this go live? I guess brand board and a countdown timer. We are hoping that this week or it's by next week, it should go live.
Probably this week, just the brand board, and like 1 or 2 weeks later on, like it will be countdown timer as well.
Great. Default one. If we change the brand board colors, if you change the brand board colors, anything that has already been applied in this iteration is not getting changed. We are just giving you something for quick access. If you wish to change, you have to perform that action. But in future, like we mentioned, we are going to explore the route of custom value based colors as well, wherein if you use a custom color and it's already there in a specific page, then we can give you an option to auto apply it to the previous templates that where you have used this color, yes or no. We'll definitely ensure a beta testing like Pooja had mentioned for both brand board and countdown timer to ensure that nothing that is working as of now breaks when we release this. And the idea is that anything from funnels perspective would go under the labs first.
Dutch had a question. Used case, as in like this is more around countdown timer. Use case is like countdown timer to events or deadlines of promotion. Like that's the use case, right? Mainly with the countdown timer.
Yes, that can be done by a fixed timer. You can just set the fixed timer linked to a promotional event or a specific date or a launch date. And then you can say, hey, till the time, let's just say your launch is on 31st of August. You can say till 31st of August, anyone who clicks on this countdown timer, they should be able to access my join the group page. But anyone who clicks post that or after the timer expires, basically, they should get auto redirected to, hey, sorry, the link is no more active or something like that. You can configure everything and this will work as per the expectation. Like if you put it in the email builder, if you click on it when the timer is expired, it will automatically lead you to the expired page. But in case you have opened it and before filling the form, the timer gets expired, you would still get redirected to the expired page. It will work exactly like expected and it should work to ensure that the timer looks authentic and works like an authentic timer.
Tony has
Uh,
a question. Are there plans to introduce polls?
Sorry?
So Tony has a question. Are there plans to introduce polls?
Yeah, so polls, are you talking about 1 to 10 scoring polls or do you want to also configure the parameters of polls?
Both.
Or for example, if you're wanting to get feedback from your clients within an email campaign as to how they vote on a specific feature that you might be interested in adding, if they could do a poll and they can see the results, you can see the results, and that would be great to be able to have within high level.
Yes, I guess that is something that would be the next most logical step after the pre-built form element that we just showed. Right now, we are just providing you the capability to edit only the background colors or the heading text or what type of scoring is this. Later on, we will also give you a 4 option poll or a 3 option poll wherein you can choose the label and then under submission, look what are the details there or what is the submissions that are made to that poll.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. What else we got?
Yeah, I think that would be it from email builder perspective. Moving on to template library, we have quite a lot of exciting things here as well. So in terms of the quick release, talking about the quick releases that we did this quarter, the first thing was the capability of admins to import templates. So initially you had to go to a sub account and then upload a template from that particular sub account. But going forward from the admin screen itself, you can choose, hey, from this particular sub account and this product, pick this particular template and upload it onto the template library. So when you click on continue, you can also choose to opt for a preview. Every other template apart from social planner, you can have a preview and then upload it inside your library without going on to the sub account view. So this is the first thing. The second thing is next screen. With respect to hide capabilities, there are two different things. First is you would be able to hide categories in totality. So when you hide a category and there are 10 templates that are linked to it, all the 10 templates get hidden. You can also go ahead and individually hide templates, or even if you, for example, if you have hidden all of those templates and you wish to show two of them, you can just go to those templates and then click on show to ensure that only those two templates of that entire category are made visible. Pooja, can you go to the next screen? Yeah, this is wherein I'm mentioning that if someone clicks on hide here, this is at an individual template level configuration. You can choose to go ahead and unhide it at a template level as well. If you have hidden an entire category and out of that there are 2 or 3 templates that you wish to show, you can go ahead and configure it. And in an entire category, if there are 2 or 3 templates that you wish to hide, you can do that as well. So that is one. Then the other capabilities that we are providing the admins are, now you can go ahead and add your own categories and types as well. And when you add your own categories and types, we will give you the access to edit or delete them as well. So as of now, GHL based categories you can only hide, but for the categories or types that you have created, you can go ahead and edit, delete, or even hide it if you want. This thing is already live. And we went live with this last Wednesday. Next screen. Yeah, this is something that we are working on popular demand. We understand that going ahead and then hiding individual templates that the GHL team is adding, that is basically a little tedious. What you can do is under settings, you can opt for hide all GHL templates or all the templates that we are adding onto the template library by default, so that you can then go ahead and review and then choose which template you wish to add and which one you do not. So you can click on this toggle button that you see right here, and then you can just simply go ahead and enable it and also apply it for all products. You can customize it at a product level also. If you wish that all GHL templates that we are adding for funnels, that is not hidden by default, but everything that we are adding onto email builder, email templates, probably that is not matching your standards. You can go ahead and hide all of those email templates that we are adding and then have a review of them and only then enable it for them. So you can customize it at a product level as well. So moving on to the next screen, and this is the most exciting thing that we are bringing onto the table, which is the capability to customize how the template library looks for a particular sub account. So here you can you would have a list of all your sub accounts, and if you wish that this particular sub account, let's just say A, I do not want them to see my category A, B, and C. And for a sub account B, I don't want them to look at my category C and D. So for that particular case, you can just go ahead, click on that particular sub account that is present under your settings section under customize for sub account, and then choose which categories you wish to enable or disable it for them. Also preview it, how exactly it looks for their for their users, and then click on save, and it will apply specific or customize that library view specifically for that particular sub account. I'll just take a pause.
Charles, you got something?
Yeah, so on the first thing on the templates, on the template library, there was a recent thread that got quite a bit of interaction in the high level group about the previews for templates. Is there any work on increasing the size of that window? Because
Yes,
it
we
does pretty
are
well
working to
break
ensure that.
everything. Okay.
Yes, we are working to ensure optimization. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If we could get that window, I mean, the person was kind enough to provide everybody with CSS to make it bigger, but yeah, definitely getting it to overlay the left-hand navigation bar gives it a lot more room so you can get a real preview of those templates. The other thing, while I like this idea, seems to me that there should be the better way of doing this instead of looking at it from assigning sub-accounts is having a hierarchy of assigning it to a SaaS plan, assigning a view to a SaaS plan. And then if I wanted to, after that, say, okay, well, this person's in that SaaS plan, so this is their default view, custom view of the templates. But for this one, I want to make an exception. I don't think starting out at the sub-accounts level is very useful. It's useful, but it's not because now, I mean, sure, if you have like 10 accounts, it's useful, but if you're dealing with a lot of different sub accounts, how are you going to do this at scale? Last thing I want to do is have another thing to do anytime someone signs up.
I guess that was one of our plans that we wanted to achieve. We have still that in our plan in terms of like, you have a SaaS plan and you choose like, a template library group from it, like a categorized group from it, and then like you are just putting it with that SaaS plan. That was something that we wanted to do, but we started first with the sub account because that was like, most voted items like overall. And then like, probably we'll also do the SaaS one because SaaS one was something that we also initially like talked about and we have also added like design phase on it. So I guess like Shreya, we can again pick it up as like, one of the pipeline items based on feedbacks, right?
I would definitely want the SaaS plan.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, whoever started that, I would, and so this is where, I mean, kind of have to read between the lines, because while someone may sit there on the ideas board and say, "Oh yeah, we want to be able to customize this per sub account," it doesn't mean that they want you to start here. Um, sometimes you have to read the unwritten context. Um, I think it's going to get underutilized coming out this way. Whereas if it would have come out at the SaaS level first, and then, or at least the price, if it's not a SaaS plan, okay, if you sell it at this price, because trying to think of the 297 high level accounts, if you could associate a custom view with a price, that would include the 297 people. But at least at the SaaS configurator level, if we could, to me, it just makes more sense to start there, then go down to instead of doing it this way. But
Got
I
it.
guess
I
that's,
said we'll take the feedback and we'll definitely
yeah,
reconvene, like, come back with a solution around it because we already have the plans for that as well. It's not like, we're not
yeah.
thought through that, but it's just that we took this on priority because in terms of like, it was higher on the ideas board over there. But we'll definitely rethink and like, reconvene on it and come back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Just a quick question. Is there already a way to just show it the template library as a whole in a specified sub account? So I don't want the menu showing for all sub accounts, just one sub account.
As in, you only want like template library to be part for one sub account, but not rest of your sub accounts, right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what this achieves were for that.
This
So
sub account view customization.
yes.
Okay.
The
So
planner.
this will allow that one particular sub account just to see the template library, but not everybody else.
Yeah, not everyone else.
Okay, thank you.
As in, that's the goal that we'll be moving. Like, we'll be keeping like two-way compatibility because, like, not everyone wants like, as in, we are going to keep like, like mutual compatibility. So, for example, if you are even enabling it for one sub account, a custom view, but rest you want like all of the view. And then like, some you don't want template library to at all show, right? All those things like we will provide it out of box when we are implementing like, this particular solution. Like that was the main goal that we started with it. Good.
Okay, thank you.
I guess this is the last screen talking about like the expansions on the next slide.
Okay.
And in the expansions, I can say that we are bringing workflows, proposal and estimates, which is documents and contracts, and reporting dashboard as the very next things on template library, and it's coming up very soon. And if I have missed anything else on my presentation, and if you wish to add it there, I think I had the ideas dashboard link, which I believe that everyone on this call is already aware of. So please put your ideas there. And just to add to the last slide that we had shared, wherein the sub account customization, we have actually explored both the packages route, which is basically configuring it at a SaaS level, and the route of sub account level. Basically, sub account level was helping us to solve all the use cases, even though it was tedious. But we'll go back and explore it once again to see which one is most useful or the most logical first step from our end.
Cool. Any more
Again,
last minute questions we've got, folks? Look like it. Well, awesome. Thanks so much for all these updates. Looks like brand board is well on its way. And we'll get to play with that and make sure that nothing breaks. I don't assume so based on how it's been designed. So, with that, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much, Ria, for the presentation. And Dia, you got one last send off question for us?
Yes, just a quick question. Why is the bounds are considered as replies in the statistics?
in the campaign statistics,
They are under the reply, but then when you check it on the contacts profile, it says bounds plus number, etc., etc.
it should not. Let me just check this and get back to you on this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. I believe we got one lined up tomorrow. So have a great day, and we'll talk then.
Thanks, Ryan. Bye.
See ya.